Hi, guys.
Happy hump day, or rather, happy pump day.
Okay. I was about to say, you can't say happy hump day when it's the week of Easter. It'd be happy hop day.
Happy what?
Hop.
What the hell is a hop?
A bunny hops Easter.
Oh, like a hop, skip, and a jump kind of thing?
That joke didn't land.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome back. We're back to obviously cover Vanderpump Rules from last night's episode, which I thought was really good. But I know that we have some things.
I'm going to say really quickly, yes, please tell me how you felt about the Vanderpump Rules episode compared to the Valley. I know we shouldn't be comparing, but we have to.
I personally think the Valley is going to be a kick-ass show, but I think that Vanderpump Rules is really good. However, I do agree with you, and we're going to get into that as we go along. I think that there are certain moments in the episode where it seems like we're trying to make something out of nothing. And that is a red flag. Whereas like the Valley, we don't need to make anything out of nothing because there's nothing. So now there's nothing,
but you know what's making the Valley interesting? And I some people are really getting into it. And then like I see in the live chat, Pam just said, I can't get into the Valley for some reason. And I think that a lot of people are getting into the Valley, or the ones who are because we have familiar faces. We have those OGs like Jax, who is like the villain that we all want to kind of hate.
We have to talk about that too at the end.
But I do want to say that Vanderpump Rules is this is probably the best episode post Scandoval so far, like where we haven't really brought up a ton of like Rachel, Raquel, Scandoval shit, right? But we're plagued by like really old drama right now. So, and very, very hypocritical drama, which is the story of these people.
So question then.
Yeah.
As we're watching, let's kind of go through the episode. First, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. And everybody in the live chat, I want to see what the general consensus of Vanderpump Rules last night's episode.
Okay. Wait, what would I think the number would be? I'd give it a solid 8. Like I thought it was a good episode. And I feel like we're moving along a little bit. As you pointed out last time we spoke, it's a shorter season. So you want to, what? You're like laughing at me.
Because I'm thinking of something in my head.
Oh, it's a shorter season. And we're like ramping up because like the first like 6 episodes, I think were just kind of sleepy. You know, they were a little sleepy. And we're still focused on Scandoval, which we have to be because remember they filmed so quickly afterwards. Right. But I'm going to give it an 8. What about you?
I'm going to probably I'll give it a 8. I think 8's fair.
Okay.
Let's kick it off. Let's go through the whole episode. And it seems like the general here is between 7 and 9. I think. Okay. I was laughing and it's actually not funny because
Okay.
Why?
I don't know.
I was laughing because I was thinking in my head when Joe said that she was getting bullied by the girls, but then when James like just pops out saying sloppy Joe and he's laughing at his own joke. And I was like, no, I mean, everybody.
Do you know, it took me a second to even get it because I was like, that was funny. Sloppy Joe. And I'm like, oh, it's Joe. He's referring to Joe. I'm like, wow. Okay. The light bulb just hit. Okay. So let's jump into this.
Billy ends up coming over to the house, right? So when Billy comes over to the house, Tom needs somebody to film with. And Billy sits down and says, you know, Tom, how'd you like my friend T? She's a cool chick, huh? Right?
Yeah.
So we don't understand what's going on. But if you guys remember at the time that they were filming this, Tom Sandoval walked out with T and all of like the paparazzi, they got them. And she the next day posted on her social media. She was like, got the job done. And she released a single. It's such a setup.
And that's why, you know, I was telling you about earlier too. It's like, what are we doing in Vanderpump Rules post Scandoval? What are we doing in Vanderpump Rules season 11? That's going to take us to season 12. So far, it's really nothing, right?
Right.
Like we're putting in these like extra people we didn't really want to see back on TV, like Billie Lee, or like now, you know, to save Schwartz is any kind of storyline, we have this girl Joe, who's just horribly annoying to watch on television. No offense, she's probably a nice girl, but like very awkward and strange to watch
Hold on, I have
on
a photo.
television.
I actually feel really bad about it. But also, she's the one who went on television, you know? Like, I don't know what was happening there.
When she was like covering her ears.
Yeah.
It's strange. But you know, I don't know. Yeah, I think that Billie is definitely trying to insert to have some kind of TV time of, you know, like just a little bit of TV time.
Yeah.
And her coming in to talk about Ariana and like how strange it is. I think it's kind of good for Tom to hear that. But at the same time, it's like, Billie, why are you here?
Well, also, I think that they originally thought that Tom was going to need somebody to film with. That's why they inserted Billie. And Billie was watching the dogs and everything in the house. So Billie was there anyways. I don't think that I think she came around right before she knew filming was going to start. I think that's when Billie came back into the picture. But then, okay, that's fine. Take that aside. I think it's more comical that Billie's sitting in Tom's room and, you know, she's like, if Ariana doesn't feel safe, then fucking move. I'm like, one, Billie, you're not paying the mortgage. And two, she can do whatever she wants. She was just cheated on. There was a 7-month affair, you know, and she's like, F you. Like, I'm not going to have you push me out of the house too. And you get to live in this big, beautiful house you're rewarded with, and you get to stay here by yourself, and I have to go live in an apartment. No.
Yeah, I
Right?
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I was saying too is just like, it's kind of like we have all these kind of, we're trying to like have these very produced storylines, right? Like right now, there's nothing happening with Katie. So we have old drama coming up with Katie. There's not really enough happening with Tom. So now we have Joe. And it's kind of like, it's weird where I feel like when we're watching The Valley and you see Scheana on the show or you see Lala on The Valley, that just makes more sense to me at this point, because I feel like Vanderpump Rules is just confused on who they are anymore post Scandoval, post not working at the restaurants.
You know, I always think about like, I factor in what people kind of seem like they're making based off of what jobs they're doing. And yeah, I can see obviously where Scheana and Lala have they bought these new, very expensive houses, $2-3 million. So they have the money, they can compete, and they're already well known on reality TV. But then I was thinking when Lala did an interview the other day, because Stassi would be great for The Valley, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I think she's far, far beyond that.
But she said that Stassi makes way more than enough money on her podcast. And I'm like, can you be making that much money?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can make really good money.
I'm
with
talking about
does,
like almost $1 million.
Yes, yes. Podcasting is a big industry, guys. But I feel like she's. I don't want to go into The Valley right now, but I feel Stassi is way beyond kind of where they are. Everyone's stuck in kind of this zone, and I don't see Stassi and Kristen sharing a television screen for some reason.
No,
and putting Jax back into the mix with Bo now. I just like it's
wait.
It's a recipe for disaster. But let's stay on Vanderpump Rules.
Okay, so Ariana is trying to poach Ann. Thoughts?
Ariana's what?
Trying to poach Ann. This is so
poach
clear.
Ann. You said that so fast. I was like, poach Ann. I don't know what you're talking about.
Poach Ann. So
okay. What do you think about that?
I was gonna say
because we know she does.
Yeah. So last night watching the episode, it's so obvious, I think, what she's doing, because she goes on and she starts talking to Ann on the phone and says, "Hey, Ann, how are you?" Ann's so excited. And she's like, "I'm looking for somebody to maybe hire as an assistant," which this is so pre-planned, but it's actually kind of comical. Like, you're stealing his assistant, but also that's up to Ann too. But what did you think about it? Is it okay for Ariana to poach Ann?
No, I feel like what you just said, there's a lot of pre-produced moments.
Right.
And I don't want to like beat on a dead horse here, but we do have a lot of shows on Bravo right now with very generic, authentic relationships. And I feel like we're pulling straws here to like make anything happen. And I think this is one of those things. I think it's very produced. I mean, many people, where to get an assistant, where to get help, where you could find an intern. You have friends in the industry who know these things. You have managers, agents who can help you do this. Why Ann? Because you like Ann, but like this is so for the show. Ann is probably a great assistant.
Right. Well, Ann, she's funny. And she's kind of like comedic relief,
Yeah. No, she's a good time. Doesn't take it too seriously.
And she's trying. She came in her suit.
Yeah.
So we like Ann. All right. Now on top of that, moving past, we have Schwartz, who obviously meets up with Lala for juice. And then that's where he drops the bomb. With everything else aside, there was really nothing else to pick out from that. But he drops the bomb that at one point, maybe 12 years ago, he made out with Scheana, right? This is what you think is pre-produced.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think you're looking for straws here, right? Or you're pulling it. What's the saying? You're grasping for straws, girl. We're trying to breathe. It's like you're coming up in the water. I gotta breathe. There's nothing happening. So no, I'm just saying. So now Schwartz drops this bomb that he may or may not have made out with Scheana 12 years ago, and Lala's like, wait a second, hold on, stop the news, sound the alarm. You made out with Scheana 12 years ago. I haven't even known you for 12 years, Adam. We're coming up on it, but 12 years ago, after everything that has transpired, this is what has Lala like up in flames. Is holy shit, you made out with Scheana at some drunken Vegas thing when I don't really see it as a big deal now, compared to everything else that's happened too.
Do you guys agree with that? Do you agree with what Jason's saying, or would you be more like Katie and make it into a big deal? I actually agree with you. I think that was 12 years ago. I think that Scheana justified it just fine. He tried to kiss her. She was making out with Ariana. She was also there without her husband. I mean, also Scheana said at that time, I was terrified of you guys. And if Sheena's not the one who, I get why Scheana did not tell Katie about it. And even if she didn't tell Katie or did tell Katie, I still think that 12 years later, it's like, dude, you've moved on. You've already been married. You've been divorced since then, Yeah,
I think this new revelation is the fact that I think Katie's upset, and the fact that Lala is so quick to just throw it on to other things. And even like Ken and Lisa are talking, oh yeah, wow, did he kiss her 12 years ago? It just seems so.
Do you feel like
unauthentic?
Are we doing this?
What?
Like we're going downhill now?
No, I mean it's interesting to watch them fight over things that happened 12 years ago for sure. That's funny, but I just don't know why it is being made to be such a big deal. Now Katie doesn't like to be looked at as the person who's angry, right? But everybody who watches the show considers Katie a person who's unhappy, a person who's angry, right? I don't think so. In real life, I think she's great, but you're not doing yourself any justice by holding on to things that happened 12 years ago.
I want to actually bring this up because I think it's funny that you're talking about this. Maybe I put it on the second channel. Oh, it didn't post. Never mind. So I asked everyone yesterday, do you think, because Katie said on the Nick Files podcast, right? She said, I'm at a place where at the very beginning, I would be around people who I did not like, and I would do conflict resolution. I don't want to do that anymore. So then I'm listening to that in my mind. And what I asked everybody was, if you don't want to do that anymore, do you now opt out of your job on reality television? Or should you be able to be on reality television, have the contract with the rest of the cast, and still call the shots and say, I'm not filming with so-and-so? Right?
Right.
Which one?
Which one what?
Were you listening to what I was saying?
No, I was reading my notes.
Oh, okay. So let me ask one more time. Katie says she no longer wants to film with people she doesn't want to film with, and that's her prerogative, right? So then do you get off reality TV because now you're trying to call the shots, or no, she should be able to call those shots because she's been on for 11 years?
I mean, she can say that, but it's not going to work for the show. That's the thing. It's like, here's the thing about reality TV. Here's the thing about celebrities or whatever. You're only in for the moment. If people don't like you anymore, it's really not up to you. If the industry doesn't want you, the show doesn't need you, it's not up to you. It's not there. It's not necessary. The focus isn't necessary. Everyone's replaceable. So the thing is like, I just don't see so much of a future for certain people on Vanderpump Rules, especially if people move to the Valley. I feel like it's redundant drama at this point.
Do you know what's so funny is I was asked a question yesterday, and I think that when Jersey Shore took a hiatus for a minute, it was because all of their careers were skyrocketing. I think that the same thing happened with the Hills. And I talked about this, and now I kind of want to change my answer to my Instagram stories, because I was asked, do you think that there will be a Vanderpump Rules season 12? And I was like, well, think about it. Ariana's skyrocketing. she's, in Chicago. James Kennedy is DJing with DJ Pauly D, who's making millions a set, which is crazy. So he's skyrocketing. And then you have the girls who moved over to the Valley. And then you have Katie, who's holding on to the sandwich shop. And then I don't even know what the Toms do. I said, yeah, it would make sense for a 12th season. But now I'm thinking, no, it wouldn't. It would make sense for the girls to go over to the Valley.
Exactly.
And it would make sense. James is just going to flourish.
I think the Valley can be more of a show for, like even James and Ali, I can see kind of popping in and out of the Valley.
But I don't think
I don't think Katie and Ariana would have a place on the Valley, in my opinion. But I just feel like that's where we're going. That's what Vanderpump Rules is. I mean, even season 9 was kind of like everyone's having babies and sitting down having picnics and shit. Like it's like we're moving past that. If that makes sense.
Or if anything, maybe one more season, because
I don't
Lala
know.
is having a baby, but that would make sense for the Valley.
Well, you remember they were going to be canceled after season 10 until Scandoval happened.
Right.
So is Scandoval enough? Here's my other theory is Scandoval, and I hate talking about Scandoval. I'm so over it, but Scandoval like threw Vanderpump Rules back out in front of people's faces again, right?
Yeah.
People got interested. Then they were seeing what was happening. Let me go back and watch all the 10 seasons so I can catch up to where we are. And people have just done that this past year. Mm-hmm. So now that they're invested and Scandoval is over, you might have an audience for another season. You might have an audience who wants to, I just got onto the show. I'm just learning who people are. Let's do one more season. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Well, that's Emily D. Baker.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, she literally started watching during Scandoval, would call me about it, and then she went to the premiere with me.
Yeah, yeah. And
well,
it's a show she didn't watch before. Right. We had a lot of friends and even other content creators who don't really watch Vanderpump Rules, and then this happened, and it brought this audience. But my thing would be is I would want it to end on a high note, and I feel like season 11 can kind of carry us into a high note, and maybe that would be a good time to stop. But
I mean, Jersey Shore ended on a high note. The Hills ended on a high note. I think that makes sense too. But right now is the perfect segue. And they could also, I'm pitching it to you guys right now. They can also have Lala and Scheana go over to the Valley. James, again, he's going to be DJing. Ariana's going to be on Broadway somewhere. Katie's going to be running the sandwich shop. And the Toms, nobody really cares. And then if we want to replace it, let's give Stassi her own show. And that will give you your other part of your Vanderpump fix. Right? She's running businesses. Yeah. She's a mom. Why not?
Okay. I don't mean this conversation's all over the place, but I don't know if Stassi having her own show. Okay. We went to her live podcast. Okay. Stassi is great television. She has a great podcast. I used to listen to it, a little bit, but it's just not my cup of tea anymore. Not that she's not good. It's just, what are we talking about? It's not for me. It's not for a 40-year-old gay man. It's probably for someone else. So,
there were
for me,
of 40-year-old
no, I'm just saying, like for me, like I don't know what you're talking about. I'm done.
Yeah.
But when we went to her show, it just was less than interesting, and I don't know what she has going on. She's so kind of like quiet now.
Yeah.
Would it be enough to carry an entire show? Would other people make appearances on the show? Do people want her back on TV? That is the real argument that I see all the time, is that people want Stassi back and other people don't. They're still not,
Also, I think to that point, we've seen a lot of people who have big personalities, like Lisa Vanderpump. She had a couple shows that didn't make it when she tried to go solo. Bethany Frankel had multiple shows that did not make it.
Mm-hmm.
Portia is a huge personality. Her show didn't make it. So yes, it is harder to have a show on your own.
Yeah, I agree exactly. It's really hard. Who did that? I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, but Kim Zolciak is the only one who's really held a show for a very long time.
Well, she has a team of like 10 children.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like
she kept it interesting.
It's like John and Kate plus 8. All right, so moving on.
I have a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because the whole thing that happened at Hotel Ziggy at James's.
Have we been there?
Well, it used to be called something else. Before it's Hotel Ziggy, I think it was the Grafton, if I'm not mistaken. And then before that, it was something else. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different hotel. Or is the Hotel Ziggy used to be the Best Western? I don't know. There's something on Sunset Boulevard that used to be something else. But they have filmed there before. And I just wanted to ask what you thought about the drama with Joe A. And then the conversation between Katie and Scheana after Katie went up to Scheana and kind of confronted her about something that happened 12 years ago.
Okay, so I love drunk Scheana.
I love drunk Scheana.
I love drunk Scheana. She is a good time. Let me start with Joe. I'm going to bring up the photo again. So we start off with Scheana kind of playing with Joe when she first gets there. And that is not Joe.
That's not Joe.
Hold on. Here's Joe. Scheana's kind of playing with her and she's like, girl, you are a hairstylist. Show off those braids. Show off your work. Take the hat off. You're always wearing a hat, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm going to bully you. But she's obviously playing, right? When the rest of the girls get there, we know that Katie Maloney has said in the past that Joe's behavior is on par with a crackhead. Those were her words.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she's spooky. So Joe's coming in kind of on edge. Like, I already know what you guys have said about me. And she's also leaning in with the, I was bullied when I was younger, which I'm not taking. We're all bullied. Right?
Yeah, but come on. Then don't. I know this is like a Leah McSweeney thing, though. Don't be on reality TV then.
Well,
it's not. It's not the place for you if you're not going to be confrontational in those situations, right? Like if someone's talking about you, go up and confront it. That is reality television. With Joe, I think she was villainized. Her character was villainized before she even started on the show.
Right.
Right. And now we have this kind of like clique of girls, going on. But Joe isn't doing herself any favors from how she behaves, in my opinion.
Right.
So,
but also, yeah, I completely agree. I agree because you already think that they don't like you, which they don't like you. The only person who's being nice is Allie, who has the weakest voice in the group right now because she is the newest.
She has nice bones.
Yeah, she's not going to sway them.
To her bones.
Right. But when it looks so like even Billie looked at Joe when she ran over and she kind of went like this and she's like, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's like,
what are you doing?
You were in the
I think that's exactly what she said. What are you doing?
Yeah. You were in the middle of a restaurant or bar, rooftop, whatever it is. Like, this is embarrassing. Then you have to go. What are you doing? Don't show people that. And now people are going to empathize with her for sure because they're going to think that something's a little off. And people are probably going to accuse her of certain things. Like, wouldn't you?
Is she on something?
Yeah.
Did she have too much to drink? Like, what is she doing? Of course that's going to happen. But that's also what you're putting out there, right?
I mean,
listen.
She's going to be back this season, though. She does come back multiple times.
Yeah. You can't just bring her on as much as you have now, and then we never see Joe again. That would look horrible. You bullied me. Never see Joe again. Yeah. What? Like, what's going on?
That's not funny. But also, what's sad is Joe's not getting paid for this season. So Joe is putting herself through this because she probably thinks, it's going to be fun. We're going to go do this. And I can't wait. And so funny. And then you're going to watch this back and see that you hate it and that you are freaking out and you're going to be embarrassed by it.
And then you're going to call Bethany Frankel.
And then you're going to call Bethany Frankel because you didn't get a paycheck. She didn't get a paycheck. Max got a, $3,000 paycheck?
Yeah. Speaking of Max.
Oh, okay. Before we get to Max, can I ask a question?
Here comes the hypocrisy that I want to talk about.
I don't know what was more awkward last night, and I'm going to let you answer this. Was it Tom walking up to Ariana trying to be like, hey, excuse me, can we maybe talk about the house? Or was it Scheana kind of laughing off Katie while Katie's sitting there trying to be like villain Katie, like stoic, kind of like, girl, you don't see what's wrong with it? And Sheena's like, first of all, no. That didn't happen. Second of all, third, like, you know what I mean?
It's so funny. Drunk Scheana is the best. And I think that was like a great moment.
I love that Scheana.
She's just
I also respect,
like, not really listening to Katie, but like kind of turning her head. Yeah. But not really listening or thinking anything is wrong. The best way to confront or best way to deal with 12-year-old drama, right?
Yeah.
Like the best way.
Well, she looks like something's wrong here, but that's just it. She's drunk Scheana, but that's okay. Now, from this point, if you were Katie, would you feel dumb bringing this up after hearing what Scheana had to say? Or do you think she should feel relieved?
No, I don't think Katie should be mad at anything.
Right.
Because that's not the reason her marriage didn't work out. You know what I mean? And I feel like she keeps looking for reasons to get mad at somebody. And this is what people who watch the show, from what I've read in comments and twatter, people just, they go, X.
Yeah.
They go in on Katie for being angry and aggressive and mean and nasty. And she's what do they call her? They call
her a lot of things.
Yeah. But like, she's the real witch of WeHo and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, she's really not. But these moments where she's just looking to place blame on somebody for something, it's like you're still holding on to that. And then to get the news that she allegedly hooked up with Max Boyens because Scheana, as crazy OCD as she is, has everybody on location, right? So she sees everyone's location.
I think she said 56.
56 people. I don't like, we have each other's and that's it. But like, you have Max and Katie leaving an event, going to Katie's apartment. This is according to Scheana on her confessional about the location.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next morning,
which is funny,
Scheana was like, I woke up
before it came out.
We did. Before when she woke up, she checked again and Max was still at Katie's apartment, which is really funny because it's contradictory from what she said. It's like, I don't like refresh. I'm like, girl, you woke up and refreshed. You refreshed that location so fast to see if Max was still at Katie's apartment. But my question to you is, after Katie had a sit down with Tom and they broke up and they were going through the divorce, and you said, stay out of the friend group, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the whole Raquel situation. Oh, I wanted to kiss him and stuff like that. Stay out of the friend group. Don't make it a thing. And then all of a sudden you go hook up with Max.
No, that's
what?
I agree with Katie in this, actually.
Wait, what?
Does that throw you off?
Yeah. Wait, what?
No, I agree with Katie because you sat there and you kissed Raquel. You're the one who broke that. That existed. That barrier existed, right? Let me give you an analogy. Here was the wall. You bulldozed through the wall when you made out with Raquel. So then the wall broke open. So now I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And now I'm going to make out with your friend.
I get
That's
that.
what she's thinking. She's like, why before? Maybe no, I wouldn't have. But since you already crossed the line, why do you get to do it and I don't get to do it? Kind of like Ariana.
You know what? That's very fair, Adam.
Yeah, like where Ariana's like, why do you get to live here and I don't?
I feel like though Raquel wasn't okay. No, I don't want to do
I mean, he didn't have sex with Raquel, so that's a little bit, I guess, different. But at this point, I think.
But Raquel wasn't even in the friend group that close. I think Raquel Max was closer to the guys in the 1 season, 2 season, one or 2 seasons he was on. Then the 1 season he was on, he had a closer relationships to the guys than Katie ever did with Raquel.
What does that say?
Yes, Blanca in the live chat says Adam's correct, and yes, he is.
Adam is right. Wow, guys.
But also, I just saw 2 wrongs don't make a right, and we talked about that last week too, or on Monday. 2 wrongs don't make a right. So, and isn't there other people to choose besides the friend group? I mean, this is a question for Tom and Katie and everyone else in the group. Do you not live in the second biggest city in the United States, where maybe possibly you can
but that's
meet other people?
Pool. It is a small pool, though.
Yeah, I guess
it's
so. I guess so.
I mean, but yeah, you do. So you can go meet other people. And at this point, everyone knows who you are. So expand your dating pool. Don't bring on losers. I'm not saying Max is a loser. I'm saying in general, while you're dating. I love Max, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Okay.
Also great to work with. Really, really amazing at what he does too. In hospitality. Guys, listen. I have one more question, and this is for the live chat too. Do you think that Brock is being a little shady by sharing all that information? Or do you think we needed Brock to share this information to have the show just keep rolling along?
Did he say, well, hold on. Before I answer that, did he say to Scheana when Scheana yelled at him and said, why? Did he say because you were going to do it first or because you weren't going to do it? I didn't catch it.
No, I don't know.
I think he said because you were going to do it first, so I wanted to beat you.
Oh, yeah, you were going to do it. You were going to do it anyway. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And she said, it's not my place. She has a good relationship with Katie. She feels like she's in a good place with Katie right now.
Look like she retaliated.
And then Brock just comes and bulldozes his way in. But I, to be honest, I love just seeing the little conflict of the relationship with Brock and Scheana. I think it's just authentic and fun to watch. I love them bickering. I don't want that to be a thing in real life, but we love watching it on the show. And I feel like Brock, even on the Valley, we're seeing a lot of Brock on the Valley too, is kind of making an impact, good or bad.
I really like Brock.
Yeah.
I think Brock is the same on TV as he is off TV, and he's a lot of fun. And he's just a nice guy. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to piss him off. He's a big guy, but he's a nice guy. All right. Moving on.
Brock is shady. Yes, Julia, absolutely. And yes, Adam is right. The live chat has spoken. Adam is correct.
Thank you, guys. I'll be
It's
here
great.
all
What
week.
else happened in this episode?
I was gonna move on.
Sorry.
Then we get the foursome, which was the sit down with Tom, James, and Lala. As soon as Tom Sandoval gets there, he is the last one to arrive, and everybody's like, "Wow, you look rested. You look good. It's the first time I've seen you without a hat. What are you up to? What's going on?" Fast forward. Then he asked Lala, "Hey, will you come out and come over to my house and do this breathing thing with me?" Were you surprised that she was like, "I'm going to consider it," and then eventually goes on to do it? Because
I'm glad she showed up without doing the breathing thing for sure.
Yeah.
That saved us a lot of awkward, TV.
Weird shit.
Yeah. I think we just did this in Lake Tahoe, and all I can think about is, do you remember when we were at the boat show and we were at a private party and they had all these things you could go do? And like one of the things I went to go do was this like breath kind of work for like 5 minutes. And I'm sitting there for 5 minutes going, and all I wanted was a drink. I'm like, I'm done with this. It's so awkward.
Where was I?
Breathing, we forget to breathe. And you learn that when you're on stage and stuff, is everyone forgets to breathe. And the way we all connect is by breath. So I think that I think that's the reason Tom was looking for some breath work so he can start connecting with everyone again.
Okay. Well, you need to look for some real work, because if the show gets canceled, you're not going to have it. Moving on.
Okay.
Lala and Tom end up sitting down. If you didn't watch the episode, I'm going to bring up a photo. Here we go. Now, when they sit down, it's after he does his breathing exercises. She opens up to him and lets him know, "Hey, dude, nothing against you. I don't trust men. I don't particularly trust, with the history that I have, straight men. I'm always going to be on the defense. And to be fair, you also haven't been a particularly great friend to me either. So now I'm trusting my gut, not what everybody else wants me to do. I feel like in order for me to continue to elevate, I have to forgive." Very mature.
Yeah, very mature, but also, again, as some of the girls in the group do, make everything about themselves, right? Well, this is me and this is how I feel. And it's like, well, you had nothing to do with the situation.
Right.
With Scandoval. Right? Except send it to Daryl.
Right, but it's also part of their contract. No matter what, they have to. It's just the biggest scandal.
I mean, I think she's playing
contracted to have something.
Okay, so why couldn't Lala go and be like, you know what? I don't know. It just feels like we're twisting it and making it about her, right?
No, it feels like she knows that the show could be stale, so she has to turn on Ariana, which she can stand from the side of, "I'm not turning on you, but I'm doing what I want to do while also supporting you," knowing that's going to trigger Ariana. Ariana's going to have a problem with it, and then they have a storyline this season.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. There's something about her sandwich shop again, guys. I don't know if you saw this scene, but what did Lala say?
Lala said, "I've had this sandwich before. I've had this sandwich before. I had this one last year.
Yeah.
And when are we opening?" It was basically, it was interesting to watch that they would do another sandwich tasting on another season of Vanderpump Rules, but this time the place is decorated, right? So I don't know if they're doing it to see if the sandwiches taste different because we're looking at the decor on the walls or what. But everyone's like, "Well, it's still not open." James, Tom, Lala, Lisa, Ken. "Oh, it's still not open. It's still not open. It's still not open." And at this point, what's going on?
Well, they have a liquor license that a new article came out saying that they have a liquor license that was granted in February, but it's only good until January of 2025. So they have to open before then. But what's stopping them is, it's becoming a walkable street and they can't get the permits for certain things. I think all they need left are the permits for the patio. It's a 20 square foot patio. And I think that's the holdup, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyways, there's something about
I feel like you can attain these permits after you open, though.
No, you can't.
There are certain things you can attain after opening. And Pump didn't have any.
Maybe a patio, yeah.
Yeah, a patio. That's what I'm saying. If it's the patio is the holdup, Pump added a patio later. Right. It's not.
They have their walk, the way that you walk in is probably about as big as this desk. And the patio is the size of our dining room right here. If people are there drilling and putting stuff down, you can't have traffic right there. There's no other way to go in.
Create a way. I think there's a side door, isn't there?
So they walk down the.
There has to be. I mean, honestly, I'm with Lisa on this. Open. Just open, fix it along the way. There's a lot of mistakes, and not mistakes, I should say. There were a lot of things not finished yet with Tom Tom, and they opened Tom Tom. Open, get it going, see what's working and not working, and then go back and kind of recalibrate a little bit and let it go. But you're at this point, you're just wasting money, right? Paying this rent, this obscenely expensive rent. I'm sure.
I think it's either 8,000 or 11,000. So, and they've already done a year of it, which is over 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Irene said, why did they have the sandwich tasting party again? Honestly, if I had to guess, since they just had to renegotiate their contracts after Scandoval, I think what happened was they were probably trying to negotiate the visibility of something about her into the show, making sure that they had a guaranteed, you're going to feature the inside, you're going to do this, because they get to write that in too. So I think that they probably wrote in a promotion for their business, and that was the best way to do it, I'm guessing.
I mean, there's nothing else to do at this point, I think, except open. I think everything is there. You have Penny, who has created these sandwiches with the girls, and she's known for doing this. She's amazing at doing this. The place looks decent, like it's ready to open. So the only thing is really to open.
Yeah.
There's no more sandwiches to try.
No.
It's not Subway.
She's like, I had this. I had this one. Oh, the Caprese. Wow. The Scapanella. Again. Okay. Now,
I would love for them to focus on what makes it different too. I know it's a female-owned sandwich shop, which you don't really get. And they brought up a really good point last season. You have like the Subway, Jersey Mike's, all of these like kind of masculine sandwich shops, and it's really cool to open something like that.
A masculine sandwich.
I mean, I don't know. Jersey
Sloppy
Mike's
Joe.
doesn't seem like where like the little pretty girl would go. Be like, oh, can I have a Jersey Mike's sub? They can go and something about her and have a nice lunch. I get their idea. I love their idea. I just think that there's nothing left to do. But what makes the sandwiches so different? Like, give us something.
Well, I think what they're focusing on is like the inside. Obviously they want it to look like a rom-com. I think what did she say? Nancy Meyers.
Like Nancy Meyers. Yeah,
like Nancy Meyers. And then I think also it's like the detail, like the little twine that wraps around the sandwich and like these little dainty touches. And then you have like a gay manager, Logan. So it's just like it's a dainty feminine vibe.
Yes, and those dainty little wrappers are going to cost you an extra $5 on your sandwich.
Well, and like Lisa said too, a lot of people love having bars because you can make a lot of profit on the margins for alcohol. Whereas on a sandwich, I really don't know if it cost you, say you're getting, have you been to the store, by the way? We, the other day, got organic eggs. And I didn't realize until I checked out, because I just grabbed the eggs and I don't look at them or whatever. It said $11.99. I was like, ma'am, she's like, the eggs are $11.99. And I said, no, no. I'm going back. I'm going to go see
Julia in Miami and get some eggs.
Yeah. But then you see like the tomatoes, and those are like super expensive. And I know that they're wholesaling this stuff, but it's still really expensive. It probably cost about $5 to make a sandwich. What do you sell it for? Like 18?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're selling it for. No one knows.
Like 20? I don't know.
No one knows.
Let's say you sell it for $20.
I mean, now if you go to like one of these like fast food sandwich shops, like a Subway or whatever, like aren't those now like in the double digits? You can't even get like a Subway sub for like less than $12 now. So imagine going to the center of West Hollywood to get your sandwich for $22 just to be in a Nancy Meyers film. That doesn't, I don't know. I'm trying to find something here. Like,
so wait a minute. But I am thinking too, because I was on a Subway kick for a second, and I would go get you and I 2 subs, 2 bags of chips.
I don't like Subway.
And 2 drinks. He hates Subway.
It's not real.
And it would always cost about like $27, $29. So,
that's ridiculous.
Well, that's life.
Go buy bread and meat and make it here at home.
No. Then you yell at me because I don't clean
the
kitchen.
You're messy. Yeah, you're a messy cook.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, after this, we end up over at Sir to kind of wrap up before we get to the Valley. At Sir, obviously we saw the messiness. Oh my God, Lisa's here. Guys, did you know Lisa was here? No, we didn't know. She wasn't on the call sheet. So then we get Ariana and Lala awkwardly sitting next to each other, where Lala says, hey, I have to tell you something. I was at your house the other day, and Ariana's like, okay. And she's like, I had a conversation with Tom, and it was a different side of him that I've never seen before. Mind you, this is the second time that Ariana is hearing that, because Scheana said that also. She was like, it was different. He cried. And now Lala's saying that. And I think Ariana's pissed. And Lala went on and she's like, I think this, this, and this. And Ariana said, okay, wait a minute. Did he tell you he almost killed my dog? That it cost $6,000? That he let her eat this, this, and this? First of all, why were you in her room? Right?
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
What are your thoughts? Like, should Ariana be mad? Or should she just be...
At this point, yes, sure. She's allowed to be mad.
Mm-hmm.
We're still, of course she is. However, I think that it's definitely time to move out of that house.
But also, I think that it's fair for her, even though Lala's saying, you have all of these brand deals and we know that you're making a shit ton of money. Yeah, but she's allowed to be prideful too, or proud, or however you say it. She's allowed to say, you know what? You want to sit here and have like a whatever swinging contest? I'm going to end up taking this house. So no, I'm staying here too. We can sit here and play chicken all day until the lawyers decide what happens, but I'm not.
And I get that. I get that too, because, that she is on the house as well. I was kind of putting myself in that situation, and I'm wondering how long I could personally stay in a house. Like, if that happened to us, right? And you were a Scandoval, and and this happened, and then I refuse to leave the house, I would want to be so far removed from the situation. But I understand wanting to hold on to everything until the deal is done, until something is settled on.
No, you wouldn't. Okay, wait a minute.
I'd probably go destroy this house.
I was
set it on fire,
I think,
and drive off into the sunset. That's probably what I would do.
I would be like that Tyler Perry movie that I love so much, and I would be like, "Which half do you want?" With the chainsaw going down like the couch, like.
The Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yes, Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Love that movie.
If we had one place that we lived in, which another one of the questions was on my Instagram, why do you guys move so much? I'm like, I don't know. We're just trying to find out. We're trying to get to where we're going. And we haven't found it yet.
Well, we move so much because we don't have a home yet.
Yeah, we don't have a home.
We just have more rentals and not a home.
Right. So if we only had one place, one rental, and no home, and this was a Scandoval situation, you would not move out. You would try to make me move out, and you would not budge. For sure. You would not just move out.
That's true.
You'd be like, no, you move out.
That's true.
And then you would try to make life uncomfortable.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might do all of those things.
See? But to be fair, who wouldn't?
I have to give props, though, to Tom. I can't believe I'm saying this, but sometimes in that situation, the patience just grows a little thin, right?
Right.
And it's growing thin on both sides, and I totally get it. But it's at the point where I think Tom feels like it has gone through the proper channels. We are going through the proper channels. We're going through lawyers. We're going through all of these things, but you're taking your time, or you're choosing not to respond until you're ready, according to Tom. But I think it's okay. Like, Billie Lee, I'll also give her props. Why am I doing this? Said at the beginning, why don't you just go talk to her? She's 10 feet away, And I understand that. There are some things you just want to get settled, right?
I agree with that.
So Tom going up to Ariana, I don't think was such a bad thing.
I think that obviously I understand that they're filming a show, so I get why he did it like that. But I agree with Billie. Like, she is right there. Also, though, sometimes I am the worst at communication and texting and getting back to people. I'm so bad at it because I read the message and I'm like, of course, that's definitely what I want to do. But I don't send it back. I just think it in my head and then I move on. And it's like squirrel. So I think in this sense, she's busy. She has the brand deals. She has Duracell. She has the Glad pink bag. She has the moving company. She has the financial services. She's doing a chicken restaurant, Dancing with the Stars, all of this stuff. She's busy. So if she hasn't gotten back to it with the lawyer because she wants a minute to think about her $3 million investment, I think that's okay.
God, you got me today. You got me. Well, it's 2 times.
Yeah.
You got me. Very good point.
I feel like I'm very much on it today.
You're on it today.
Yeah. So with that, I have one last question for Vanderpump Rules. Sorry, because I know the Valley is going to be quick. When Lala says Ariana's situation is different and she doesn't understand why she doesn't move out, and that Ariana can't say shit to Lala because Lala was like, I did move out. I personally think that's different because you didn't own that house with Randall. That was Randall's house that you were living in as his fiance and the mother of his child. But if the cops came and somebody had to leave to Tom and Ariana's house, they would both get to stay unless somebody actually physically hurt somebody. If the cops came to Randall's house, Lala would have to leave. And Randall could say, you leave, but this is my baby. She, like, officer, she has nowhere to go. The baby's staying with me. And that was her biggest nightmare. So they are two totally different situations.
That's kind of my problem with Lala and a lot of stances she takes and a lot of opinions she gives. Is she likes to learn and go through it. Then she likes to teach other people or tell other people how to deal with their situation that's similar but not the same. This situation is similar, but it's not the same.
Right.
Randall was never part of the friend group. Randall didn't go screw one of the girls in the friend group. It's a very different situation. So
right.
Yeah.
No, he just went to Nashville and Miami.
Yeah. You could have helped ratings if you stayed within the group.
Damn you, Randall.
God, Randall.
Actually, nobody cared about his Hulu doc. Everybody cared about Scandoval. All right. So I want to get into the Valley for a second. It's Nia, right? Not Naya?
Nia.
Naya.
Why Naya?
I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was Naya. Somebody said that they could absolutely see you go nutso. So
probably could.
I don't know if you guys watched last night. I felt like there were some over-exaggerated things that were going on, some pre-produced situations. And then I felt like there was one cast member, and you can guess who you think I'm talking about, who had to have been lit on something. I don't know. Back to it. Nia. She's pissed off because her husband got pantsed.
Right.
She's crying. Sheena's laughing because she's like, girl, you're more dramatic than I am.
Well, first of all, the look that Scheana gave Nia was just like, really, girl, this is what you're doing to get camera time right now, is to just make a scene like this. I mean, I don't want to take anything away. She just had a baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe she's just kind of a little more postpartum or something.
That's very understanding of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Don't make fun of somebody that could potentially have or not have postpartum.
I think with Nia, and this is only the second episode, I don't know this girl, whatever, but if I put myself in her situation, I mean, it was freaking over the top, like someone just said in the live chat. But like, I think she wants to portray something about them that like that just didn't. I know she was caught off guard. It was unexpected. And I don't think she wanted that to happen. I don't know. I'm trying to like put myself in her shoes, but I'm like, that was such an overreaction. You're at a Jax Taylor party. What do you expect? Now there are kids around, so that's not a good thing if you're flashing yourself
I was
in front
thinking
of
maybe
kids.
she wants to. Well, that's the part that I thought was the problem, was there were children.
Yeah, but that wasn't the problem that Nia had.
Right. And I also think about it too. Maybe she's trying to carry this like pageant girl persona because she was Miss America or Miss United States.
That's what I'm saying. When you see yourself so much as one thing, like.
But then also, have you not seen Vanderpump Rules? Like, do you not know who you're getting in bed with when you go on the show? Because it's going to be crazy and people are going to try to make you look silly. All right. Now, Jesse, I'm going to bring up a photo of Jesse. This is Jesse. Jesse's married to Michelle, or was, because Michelle is leaving Jesse. Jesse's kind of a douchebag, right?
Yeah, the way he said, I don't know what did he say exactly, but he said, I don't know if Michelle loves who I am or who I became or who I was, something like that. It seems like things have shifted according to what he was saying.
Right. You can also see that she is very controlling with her child, and he is a man child. And I think that's the difference, is like he's very let loose, have fun, and she's very structured. I think that he handled that conflict with Luke pretty well because, okay, if you guys didn't watch last night, Jesse and Kristen Doty were going back and forth. She pinched his nipple and he went back for hers. Well, she thought it was kind of funny, but slightly inappropriate, but it's actually inappropriate. And she tells her boyfriend, Luke. Well, Luke all of a sudden gets real serious, like tough guy, kind of like, shit, I got to stand up for my woman. So then that becomes a conflict. And then Messy Jax, ends up having a boys' night where he invites Luke and then decides, you know what? What's going to piss off Kristen? And he also said that Kristen screws everybody, which I'm like, why are you saying that? You're an asshole. But he invites Kristen's ex, who Luke has a problem with, and says, man, that doesn't make you mad, does it? That part felt pre-produced.
I mean, that was a Jax produced moment. I do have to say, yeah. This was a good reaction to that moment, though. I think, you have to apologize, right? You were drunk, you're being stupid, apologize, because this is cancel culture 101. Fucking apologize immediately. You made a mistake, be done with it. Although Luke does say you have to apologize to her, make it a thing, and then we're all good. But the whole messiness of Jax inviting Alex and knowing that this is going to be a situation, the fact that Jax has picked out the person he is going to go for, which I feel like is Luke, is exactly why we watch Jax on television. He's a disaster. He's a villain. He looks for ways of doing this, and it comes easy to him too, right? He wants to create all of this conflict.
He has a
and
very
this drama.
manic energy.
Who, Jax?
Yeah,
he's had a manic energy since he's appeared on TV.
I know,
that's
but
just who he is.
It's just kind of like, I don't know, man. How are you? You're doing okay? Anyways, let's get to it real quick. So, what's going on, man? What's going on with you? Because you've been acting funny. I got to be honest with you. You've been acting funny, and it's like, were you a fucking hummingbird? Just said like 500 things in 1 minute. So it's just a very manic energy. So. But he does make great TV. And then Brittany, I do agree with Zach, and I actually have to change my stance from last week about Zach Wickham.
Okay. Because your stance last week was what?
It was harsh in the sense that I was like, I wouldn't imagine him to be very compelling TV. But that was my opinion. And opinions can change. And mine has. Watching him last night, I really enjoyed him on the show. I think he's funny. I think he has little zingers. I thought he did great, and I can't wait to see him have this like big moment next week. I do think he fits in as a friend because it makes sense. He's not coupled up or anything. Right. And yeah, I enjoyed that moment.
Yeah, it's different. You know what I do have to say is, who put together this group?
Jax and Kristen, I think.
Jax and Kristen, okay?
Yeah.
Those are the two biggest messes in Vanderpump Rules. I think they secretly, whether they know it or not, know how to put together a group of people who are just going to be so chaotic, it's unbelievable. And I really think they did a good job at doing that.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. And what I was going to say is, somebody asked what's in my hand. A chill pill. What I was going to say is, it's kind of funny to see that Brittany's equally as messy as Jax. And I don't know where that came from, because she used to be she's still sweet, but she knows how to play the game now. Because she's like, Kristen, why are you mad that Jax invited your ex-boyfriend that you were rumored to have these really bad altercations with to guys' night with your new boyfriend? Why are you mad about that? And Kristen's looking at her like, really, bitch? Really? Like, is this what we're doing? Because Crazy Kristen is still in here, and we're only on episode 2. We just started filming, so if this is the game, I got you.
Yeah. Although right now I'm finding Brittany to be my least favorite person on the show. Yeah, 100%. Probably out of everybody. I do agree with you about Zach. I do. I think that it's a different light this week. But I just like Brittany. I don't know. I'm not enjoying her. I think you could do this show without her, really.
Did you ever watch Dance Moms?
Yeah.
Do you remember when she would be like, okay, guys, top of the pyramid this week is Maddie.
Yes.
And it was always Maddie. I think that my stance will probably change a lot throughout the weeks of recapping this, like when we get a new episode, because as of right now, if I'm thinking about who is my least favorite to watch, the one that I'm just not polarized by yet is Michelle.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that too.
Yeah.
I do think, you know what? My opinions change every week too, because we're not watching the entirety of a show at once. It's not Netflix.
Right.
So every week we get a new episode and things happen. Mm-hmm. People react differently. People do crazy dumb things that we never thought they would. And yeah, it changes over time. But
also, yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's the best way to put it. We don't know them yet. So don't I mean, Janet messaged me right after and she said, "Hey, thank you for being nice to me on your YouTube channel, or for the nice things that you said on your YouTube channel," which I said that, last time that she was really, really sweet and I like her. So that people hear things. So Michelle, when you hear this, I'm just saying my opinion is changing every week. We don't know you yet.
But you know what? The thing about someone like Janet and Jasmine and Zach and stuff like that, they've all been around reality television or on reality television themselves in different capacities.
Yep.
Right. So I feel like this group of people, because I've seen a lot of people, it's very split in the minute. It's very split in the middle. Sorry, guys. It's very split in the middle right now when I read, comments and stuff on who likes the Valley, who doesn't like the Valley. But honestly, we're only 2 episodes in. It's a brand new show.
Mhm.
And I think that I was expecting a lot worse. And I think we're going to have like a show that's going to be around for a while, because I think you can mix and bring in different people from Vanderpump Rules. I think it's a place where, like, if Vanderpump Rules ends, Ariana, Katie, which we'll probably never see, but James, everyone can make cameos on this show, but we're really going to be focusing on this new core group of people,
Right.
this new where they are in life, and kind of pick up. And I kind of like it.
Do you think
It's an easy watch?
It's going through my mind right now, the money of it. Do you think that Lisa Vanderpump gets a kickback for this because it's a spinoff of her spinoff?
Well, originally, wasn't it supposed to be called Vanderpump Valley? That's what they were going to try to push after season 10.
Yeah, but that's not what it's. They can easily say, like, that's not what it's called and you're not producing it. But I wonder if she gets a residual for it. I bet you she would be smart enough to negotiate that into her contract.
I'm not sure.
Like spinoffs.
But we do have
Kickback.
Vanderpump Villa premiering on Monday, which should be interesting. I'd like to see how
that goes,
how that compares, because it's like Below Deck meets Lisa Vanderpump and Vanderpump Rules. So we'll see.
And we have Jill Zarin, you guys, on is it next
what the
week?
hell?
What?
And we have Jill Zarin. Like, anyone wanted to hear that? Like, and we have Jill Zarin. She has candles at Sam's Club and Costco. She dies. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Jill Zarin.
I meant that we have Jill Zarin going on Below Deck.
Oh, yeah.
Because the mid-season trailer came out.
Yeah.
I was
like, why the hell are we talking about
I have
Jill
to play
Zarin?
this for Dorinda. I have to show Dorinda this. Because she's going to be like, she's going to die. Like, who? That's not, who says that?
I don't know, but you were like, Jill, like, and we have Jill Zarin. It's like, is it 2001 or when did New York come out? 2012? I don't know. And we have Jill Zarin. Odd thing to say.
Are you going to talk about Summer House on any lives? Because that's crazy. I believe that we've kind of wrapped this up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just to give you a heads up, you guys know that we weren't here last Friday. I wasn't here with Kim for Hot Messy Topics because we were coming back from Charleston. We are heading out tomorrow morning and we're going to be there. And I think coming back Friday afternoon. So we probably, again, won't have Hot Messy Topics this Friday. It's going to be a little different. It's going to be a lot of transition, like we've been telling you guys, because we are going to be in the process of moving. But I think that with the lives and the shows that we have on currently, it's going to be pretty consistent.
Right. Yeah. Except for Below Deck.
For
Anchor Watch. It'll be back, guys.
Yeah.
If anyone cares.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. And if you're a part of the replay crew, please smash that like button. If you're listening on anywhere you get your podcast, then hey, drop a rating, leave a review, and let us know what you think. Love you guys.
Bye, guys. See you soon.
You're doing the most.
You're doing the most.